Storms rank among the greatest dangers faced by ships, capable of overwhelming even the largest vessels with their sheer power. The most catastrophic storms not only wreak havoc at sea, but also beach ships on shores, leaving them stranded on beaches or rocky coasts. Here are 10 of the most significant incidents of the 21st century where ships were beached, illustrating the devastating impact of extreme weather conditions. Typhoon Maemi, with winds reaching up to 135 miles per hour, ravaged South Korea's coastline, beaching several vessels. Among them was the 10,000-ton cargo ship number 1 Sunshine, stranded near Busan. The storm caused extensive damage to ports and infrastructure, highlighting the vulnerability of anchored and moored ships to powerful typhoons. Cyclone Tauktae brought winds up to 140 miles per hour and massive waves, stranding several vessels. One of the most tragic incidents was the sinking of barge P-305, which claimed over 70 lives. The Indian Navy also reported smaller vessels grounded along the western coast. This storm underscored the need for improved anchoring systems and timely evacuations in cyclone-prone regions. Hurricane Katrina, one of the most devastating storms in history, beached numerous vessels in Louisiana and Mississippi. A casino barge in Biloxi, Mississippi, was carried inland and deposited on a major highway. Cargo ships and fishing vessels were stranded on shorelines or inland marshes. The storm exposed the shortcomings of mooring systems during severe storm surges. One of the most powerful storms on record, Typhoon Haiyan, with 195-mile-per-hour winds and a 20-foot storm surge, beached several ships into Kloven and nearby areas. Cargo vessels and ferries were stranded miles inland, destroying homes and blocking roads. The storm claimed over 6,000 lives and disrupted maritime operations in the region for months. Cyclone Nargis, with 130 miles per hour winds and a deadly storm surge, stranded dozens of vessels in Myanmar's Irrawaddy Delta. Fishing boats, ferries, and large cargo ships were left grounded in rice fields and villages. The massive death toll, over 138,000 people, highlighted the need for better storm warning systems and evacuation plans. Hurricane Maria, with sustained winds of 175 miles per hour, devastated the Caribbean, stranding multiple vessels, including ferries and cargo ships in Puerto Rico. In St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, small boats were piled along the shoreline like debris, while larger vessels ran aground. The storm emphasized the challenges of securing ships in island harbors during major hurricanes. Typhoon Jebi, with winds up to 130 miles per hour, wreaked havoc in Osaka Bay. The 2,591-ton tanker Honmaru broke free from its moorings and collided with the Kansai International Airport bridge, cutting off access to the airport. The dramatic sight of the tanker wedged against the bridge became a symbol of the typhoon's ferocity and the vulnerability of ships in industrial zones. Storm Xaver brought hurricane-force winds and massive storm surges to northern Europe. In Hamburg, Germany, the river Elbe overflowed, beaching barges and small vessels. Along the North Sea coast, fishing boats and pleasure craft were grounded, with some suffering significant damage from debris. Cyclone Idai devastated Mozambique with 120-mile-per-hour winds and torrential rains. Ships in the port city of Beira were stranded on shore, worsening the destruction caused by flooding. The storm's impact on maritime and coastal infrastructure highlighted the increasing threat of extreme weather events linked to climate change. Typhoon Rai brought winds up to 160 miles per hour, grounding numerous vessels in coastal towns in the Philippines. In Cebu and Bohol, ferries and cargo ships were left beached or partially submerged near harbors. The storm disrupted maritime logistics and left the local economy struggling for months. The 21st century has already witnessed numerous devastating storms that have beached ships, often with tragic consequences. These incidents serve as stark reminders of nature's immense power and the need for continuous improvement in storm preparedness, ship technology, and coastal infrastructure. As climate change intensifies, the frequency and severity of such events are likely to increase, making it essential to learn from the past to ensure the safety of maritime operations in the future.